Hello, folks. My name is Tolanar, and I will be your Overlord today. I know quite a few of you are anxious to continue, so let's jump right into it. This is the one. Alright. So let's go over what's happened while I cut away the camera, because I did just a little bit of something. I have been grinding Mission 3. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that once for you guys. You can repeat any of the missions ad nauseum I mentioned, and Mission 3 is unique in that it contains 3 set floors, which always contain the same 6 items. So let's get going. And it's a very simple procedure to grind this mission, because everything is always in the same locations. You just sprint through the starting area here, head to floor 2, grab the potions and the breads and everything. It's worth noting that enemies that look identical can have different stats. For example, the birds that are on this stage, they have less than 13 hit points. So swing the sword will kill them. However, on stage 4, the birds have about 22 hit points. So creatures can look identical. By the way, I mentioned in the data files, it shows hit points. That's incorrect. That's the number of times you have killed the monster. Well, that's going to happen when you can't read Japanese. You get slight misinterpretations here and there, but nothing serious. Okay. Gonna have to step out once. There we go. Okay. I missed. Now, I also ran Mission 4 one time because I only had a single map scroll. I need to have 2, and if we check our bag, we can see I've got all the stuff that I need here at the top. I've got 2 map scrolls, a potion, and a bread. And the rest of it's just junk I'm carrying around from the dungeon. Will do. It normally takes me about 1 minute to clear this out. I was a little sluggish because I'm yakking as I go. So, discussing efficiency, there is the question of whether you are having fun playing a game or doing a job. Now let's go ahead and toss all this into the pile except for the rocks and my stuff, so I should have 5 things in the bag. Oops, bag's pretty full, so I don't have room for all this stuff. Okay, so let's just get some of it. And some more of it. How much more space have I got? 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there we go. I don't know why I complained the first time. It's fine. Okay. I completely filled up my storage. This is because, well, why not? And because I wanted these rocks. See, I've got 49 and 2 map scrolls. This is the preparation you need to grind stage 3. To really get an advantage from grinding a stage, you need to have a power spike. This is the sort of game where every dungeon you go into is a contest of claiming as much Omega power as you can while not dying. And there's various rules we'll go over while I'm busy hunting stage 3. But we're ready to begin stage 3 now, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, stage 3 or stage 2-1 is a 6-floor dungeon. Let's go ahead and preview the objectives for it. Clear the dungeon, haul out 2 pieces of equipment of various natures that are hard to read. Haul out a 3rd piece of equipment, kill 25 enemies, and end with a cup size of G. We might achieve the G cup this time around, depending on how lucky you are while hunting. We probably won't, but if we do, that's awesome. It is much easier to do on a second playthrough than it is on the first, because Ina is a B cup. She's got a lot of ground to cover. On the other hand, if you start with somebody who is an F cup, it will be very easy to get this, especially if you follow the techniques I'm going to describe. So let's jump in. Alright. Off we go. Alrighty, welcome to the first random dungeon. Go ahead and get this off the screen. It's not helpful. Oh wait, no. We went through dungeon 1-2, which is also random. So I guess we're alright. Let's pop open the context menu and I'll explain how you grind this stage. Stage 2-1, or stage 3, is one of the best early places to obtain Omega power. It's easy, it's safe, and all you need are the following items. 2 map scrolls, a potion for emergencies. You should always have a potion for emergencies. 1 piece of bread, and as many rocks as you can hold. Let's start off by using a map scroll. You can recognize map scrolls because they look like 3 trees and a thing with a billboard that's got a scroll on it. It's hard to read Japanese. You're just going to have to learn to recognize what things are. So let's just use a map scroll. And now we can see. I'm going to take a step. Watch the mini-map in the lower right closely. Some of the red dots have moved. The red circles indicate enemies. The blue triangle indicates the staircase, and the green diamonds indicate items. Normally, you should be very keen to go get the items, but in this case, we are hunting the red dots. Now, the ones that are holding still are asleep, but the enemy we are hunting never sleeps. So, we must find the dots that are moving. Furthermore, the monster that we are hunting has 2 behaviors. It patrols, moving from room to room, and it flees if it sees the player. There it is, the lucky sheep. Have it come a step closer. Hey there. You want to hide around corners and other things like that. And cut this thing off wherever possible. If you chase it, it will run. And killing it can be a real pain because when you take a swing, it'll run away and now you have to chase it down again. This is why you need those rocks. Use the ring menu, grab a couple rocks. 2 hits ought to do it. These little babies are worth 1,000 experience and 100 Omega power. That is a lot. Like a lot. For example, that thing is going to be worth, what? 100 EXP and 10 Omega power. That's standard fare for the start of the game. You could call it a level 1 enemy. In that case, these sheeps are a level 10 enemy. Don't put me to sleep! Oh, it's just one of those. Traps. Dungeons starting in stage 3 are filled with traps. When you step on them, they get revealed and you're able to avoid them, but sometimes you'll just run into them. Now we have a total of 450 turns to explore this bad boy. Normally it'll take you somewhere between 100 and 120 turns in order to fully explore an area. Not too bad, but we want to linger on this stage in particular for as long as absolutely possible. Ooh, we got a magic staff. That could do something good, and a new map scroll. We want as many of those as we can get. We're gonna hide around the corner. This could be a sheep. It's not. It's one of these goobs. Out of the way. So discussing the flow of energy and safely clearing dungeons. Note that chasing this red dot isn't going to get me anywhere. Because if I just chase right after it, it will simply move into new rooms over and over. I will never catch it. What I need to do is get in front of it. Wait for it. And as it gets closer and closer, discover it's not the enemy I'm looking for and slaughter it. Doggone it. Get out of the way. Not a lot of sheep this time. This is one of the best... There's a sheep for sure. At least I think. I am crossing my fingers. When it spawned in, it immediately started moving. I hope I'm going to get over there in time. Not an arrow trap. Just in range. Your rocks only fly 4 squares, so to get a sheep, you have to catch him on the 3rd, because you have to hit twice. Sometimes when you hit a sheep, from a distance of 3 or 4, it will get confused and turn around and come back the other way. I don't know why they do that, I only know they do it. Doing good. We're up to a chest rank of C. Why did I do that? Oh well, it didn't cost me very much. Alright, kill this. Got a piece of bread from killing the monster. If you didn't notice, killing monsters will sometimes cause them to directly drop items. There are 3 approaches that you could take when considering clearing a dungeon. The first is to simply punch through the dungeon as fast as possible, taking the staircase every chance you get. This is the most dangerous way to clear a dungeon and should only be done if you are super confident that everything will be fine. The second approach you can take, that got him, is to pick up all the items. This is a more normal way to clear the dungeon. It is less time consuming, and for most dungeons, it's also the most reward rich. I'm not gonna get this guy, am I? Shit. Oh, yes, I will. If he went around the corner, I wouldn't be able to hit him with a rock. Well, for obvious reasons. Gaining power. Doing good. When Ina reaches F rank on her chest, watch what happens when I hit the wall. Oh, look, I hit the wall. I thought that was cute. Anyways, okay, this one's moving. It could be what we're looking for. When you... the red wind. Okay, so now I need to stay in the chambers nearby the stairs, but I don't want to leave. The red wind on this stage shows up at 300 turns to the Reaper. I mean, 300 turns on stage. So we've been here for a little while. I still have 100 turns, though, and I don't want to waste them, so I'm going to stand around and hunt sheep. And we got one. Clearing all the items is usually the most efficient way to gain Omega power. You want to get a nice full bag of items, and there's an enemy. He's asleep. Rats, it's one of those goblins, and he's going the wrong way. There's another goblin. I don't care very much about those enemies. There's a third enemy. That could be one we want. And it is. Damn it, I moved too far. Stop swinging at me. It's gonna get away. What have I got? Yes, let's use this. Whatever it does, it might be enough to help me kill that sheep. Activate the magic wand, aiming this way. Oh, a rod of slowing. Just what I needed. Stop hitting me. Oh no, I'm out of time. When the red wind blows, you've got 50 turns to get off the stage. You stop it. Move. I have to hurry up and leave. Made it. Whew. So, after clearing all of those enemies, I have obtained a chest rank of E, and I am level 7. I have killed quite a few sheeps and goblins. A total of 10 goblins and 7 sheeps for 800 whopping Omega power. This is a big difference from just stumbling through here and killing the goblins and maybe chasing the sheeps around. Having a plan is important. Let's proceed. So again, we want to start the stage by using a map scroll. This really only matters on stages 1 and 2. Stage 3 is a set piece. Alright, I'm watching where enemies move so I can predict which way they will go. It's a goob. Out of the road. There's another one. Kind of just charging around, picking fights and grabbing items at the start. Trying to head off enemies that are in motion. Alright. This is going to require some creative thinking. See, it saw me, and now it's going to run. but I might be able to get him. This is going to get complicated, though, for sure. So rather than open with a rock, which would make this difficult, let me dig around in my bag and see if I can find the right item to make this fight easy. Here we go. This will probably do it. This is a potion of sleep. Let's throw it at the sheep. The sheep would be asleep for 5 turns now. Note that I can't cut the corner to get around him. That's okay. From this distance, we'll probably get him. Now, look where he's headed. He's definitely going to head to the upper right, because that's where the door is. So I need to go around this guy and again ignore him. And now I can switch back to my rocks and finish this thing off. Again, being careful of your aim. Got him. Well done. Alrighty. And we're asleep. Fair game. We seem to have gotten a mysterious potion. Let me try to read those moon runes. I think it says physical attack weakener potion. Alright, so that's not very helpful to me now, is it? Okay, here comes a sheep or a goblin, and it's a goblin, so too bad for me. 5 turns lost. We're still in position, though. It's a goblin. Out of the way. Back down around. I don't like using the analog stick, but I'm being lazy. Note that if I try to run into this room and chase this guy, it's only going to get harder to kill him. He's crossing the room directly, which means he'll head into this chamber and then up and around. When monsters are patrolling, they always leave a chamber through a different way than the one they came in if they have any option in it at all. Now, once the sheep's pathing switches to run away, doggone goblins, I want more sheep. It's the wrong kind of enemy. Here we go. He's just about, yes, he's seen me. As sheep look into a room, they see all characters that are in the room, so I am now visible. And he's gonna take off. In tunnels, for a reason we come to in a little bit, monsters are currently experiencing fog of war, which means they can't see me. Oh, come on, you're killing my turns here. Other way. I could run down and kill that sleeping goblin, but the more efficient use of my time is to check this moving monster in case it's a sheep. Got him. Ten times the benefit. Did we hit F? We hit rank F. At rank F, Aina visibly gains a chest size. This has no effect on gameplay other than the usual chest rank upgrade, which of course refills your ultimate power, which I'm not using at all, and raises your baseline stats. But if you are collecting cutscenes, the item identification and hot spring scenes have variants for every single visible change in chest size. Medium, large, large or extra large, and Z. Z is the maximum chest size possible. And every character has different breakpoints for the different sizes based on their natural chest size. In this case, Aina is naturally a B cup. Ugh, goblins. So getting her up to F cup is pretty good. If we get a few more sheep, we actually might reach G cup this time. I'm going to hold down X and tap the circle button. Ooh, to force an enemy to spawn. You don't want to tap that too much, because it's lazy and inefficient. We're going to use this blind corner here to get this monster. So I need to get down here because that section there is actually no good. I want to catch it in this flat. Oh, doggone. Went the other way. Now it's headed down. And cornering it's going to be a pain. If it goes this way, it didn't. Damn enemy. Think I got his number this time, though. He wasted a lot of turns. Sometimes you just get no luck. The monster sees you and goes the other way as fast as it can. Other times they walk right up to you over and over. Gotta kind of roll with what you get. Now the fell winds were blowing, so we want to stay pretty close to the staircase here. It doesn't matter very much on this small of a map. Damn. Just a pudge. Out of here. But on a bigger one, it's very important, because if you get caught too far from the staircase, like in this instance, there's another monster to the south of me. I can see it there. But the red wind just blew. I don't want to take the risk of going down there and killing it and then coming back to the staircase. So let's just get out of here. Alright, now we've cleared the 2 sheep floors. And we managed to acquire a total of 1,310 Omega points, and all it cost us was a handful of rocks. Plus, we were rank F, level 9. There is nothing in this dungeon that will pose any threat to us whatsoever. Now we simply stroll to the end. Let me get my cup of tea. Off we go. Alright, Dungeon 3 is a set piece. It's always the same, and it's one of the reasons that it's a good idea to grind this mission, because in this one, you get introduced to bags, and you get a bag every time you do this mission. Carrying 10 to 20 bags with you is the hallmark of a great adventurer. Here it comes. Huh? Something's on the ground there. That is an item bag. If you run out of space for items, you can shove them into a bag. They fit in that little thing? Boy, that seems like a good item. Bags are a good item. Let's grab this. Come on, lucky, lucky, lucky. A 3 slot. That's not bad. Sometimes they spawn with only 1 or 2 slots. A 1 slot bag would be useless, because the bag would take up the exact same space as the item that would take up its space in your inventory. However, bags can have quite a few of slots. I think it's 8 is the maximum number a bag can hold. And the reason why has to do with the drop mechanic. There is a disadvantage to carrying bags, and it's getting knocked down. If you get knocked down, all your items spill out of your bag, you see. And in that case, they'll all go scattering everywhere. Which is fine, you just have to pick up your bread and your books and your potions again. Maybe an enemy grabs them as a real jerk, but usually that won't happen. But if a bag containing items hits the ground, it will tear open, getting destroyed, and scatter items everywhere. Which is okay, kind of, a loss, but the real loss is if your inventory is full and you can't pick those items up again. So, you want to limit just how many bags you bring with you. Let's go over the features of a bag. The top option is to take things out. The second one is to put them in. The third one throws the bag, which you would never want to do. The fourth one puts the bag down. Again, you probably don't want to do that in most cases. And the last option is to rename the bag. Click in the left stick to gain access to English characters. This is not the only time we will be interacting with the Japanese keyboard. It's a good idea to get kind of familiar with it, which I have not done, so we're all going to get to struggle together. Okay. It's really that sort of game, so I don't think I mind. Let's decide on what we want to put in the bag. We could cram all these magic staves in there. Usually I save this bag for powerful potions, specific ones that the sheep drop, but I didn't get any of those this time. So we're going to go ahead and highlight these. Health potions, I guess. And a bread. And toss these into the bag. Monsters are exclusive to both dungeon and floor. Now that we're past floors 1 and 2, there won't be any more sheep, which means we'll have to make our way through the dungeon without any more delicious rewards. Note that your hunger meter holds about, I'd say 1,000 steps. Since we've spent 400 and 400, 800 steps just bumming around and another 400 moving randomly, we're getting pretty hungry. So we gotta keep an eye on that. I mean, another 40. And now here's our second cutscene. Why is there a hot spring in the dungeons? Hey, you're not joking. That's super rare. Actually, it's not rare at all. Ah, this will feel great, shall we? Well, this is a big help. I'm just gonna go for it. Sorry, everybody. There we are, and we're back. Using a hot springs recovers your health and grants you a bonus. Damn, I got a junk one. Boy, that felt great. Totally felt great. Somehow I got all my energy back. I think I'm ready to go. From now on, let's use all the hot springs we come across. That isn't terrible advice. Using a hot spring will regenerate all your hit points and grant you a status bonus. I have identified most of them. I believe this one keeps people from stealing your items. You don't run into those enemies for a while yet. It's not a very useful bonus. Note that you can reuse a hot spring, but you won't get a different bonus. You can also skip the cutscene, which I tend to do in dungeons. Now, because I had an enlarged chest rank when I used the hot spring, awesome, go me, I know we'll be getting the L size cutscene unlocked. Not the M size, but the L size. But the M size ones are really easy to get. You see, you get the chance to install a hot spring in your town, and you can always just use that on any character to unlock their M size cutscene, with the exception of Rio, who will be locked for a while. We have to decide carefully whether we want to see Rio with smaller tits or bigger tits, because she'll be on the next stage. I forgot to mention, this is very important too. When you clear stage 3, you will be thrown straight into stage 4. Well, I thought it was more important to explain grinding first. So let's get going. Hopefully we'll get lots of good items in the last 3 stages of this. Off we go. Well, we got a shield. Okay, and there's a rock. Not the best. Now, I ground to kill all enemies. And just stayed on the stage to earn extra power, which is an option in every dungeon. I could continue to do that in this dungeon, but I don't have a lot of food with me. Only 9%. I didn't equip for grinding like that. Instead, I equipped for, I'm going to go ahead and eat this bread. Eating a bread grants you 60% your hunger back and heals 20 HP. And it reactivates hunger healing. Oh, look, a turtle. Note that enemies can stand on the staircase. This will be a real nuisance if it happens later on. No, 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 no. This is a disaster level situation. Let me explain everything that's wrong with this picture. That enemy is a monkey. Monkeys are nasty enemies that run from you. But more importantly, they grab items and throw them at you. They'll throw rocks and stuff if they can't get to your items. The only way to keep a monkey from throwing items is to not be in the same room as it. There's a very complex procedure where you could hit it with sleep magic, do all kinds of weird janky shit, but really, monkeys will waste your items, reducing your total Omega power uptake. If you see a monkey in the same room as an item, leave that room. You can always come back to the room later. Chase the monkey out of there. Corner it in another location. Ooh. That was an unexpected behavior. Okay, I'm being careful here. Ow. This monkey is now on the same Z level as me. He's about to move down and pick up another item. If he throws it at me, I'm gonna have a problem. See how he's standing on it? If I end my turn either facing north from him or on the same diagonal as him, i.e. if I walk to the right and stand there or run at him, he'll throw it at me and destroy it in the process. I need to get away from this monkey. So let's check this room. Now this room is empty, so I can pick up the potion. Once I leave the room, the monkey should leave the item, enabling me to come down and pick it up. And it was a spell book. Wonder what that does. Looks like... Okay. There are two types of spell books that pertain to traps that I have found so far. This is the first type, a trap revealer scroll. And this is the second type, a trap deleter scroll. Trap revealer causes all traps on a stage to become visible. You find out where they all are. On the other hand, a trap deleter scroll removes all traps in the room you are in. These scrolls are handy. These scrolls are junk. I would not bother keeping these with you, and they probably won't have an application even in the most complicated of situations, until you get into areas with extremely deadly traps. These ones, however, seeing traps is always valuable. If you feel you are at risk at any time, or you're simply doing something important like farming sheeps, using one of these traps can be a real boon. That way you don't step on the sleep traps and get put to sleep. You don't step on the poison traps and lose your strength. Well, we'll go into all those hazards later on. For now, we've cleared all the rooms and acquired all the items. Oh, arrow trap, but it didn't go off. Actually, an arrow trap. Let's try to set it off a bunch of times. Sometimes when you set off an arrow trap, our damage is well past 20, so we can simply kill turtles now. If you can kill a turtle in 2 hits, you won't even have to walk away from it. Turtles have 40 HP, so you need to hit for more than 20 damage in order to two-shot a turtle. Arrow traps, right? So, arrow traps sometimes miss the player. Didn't happen that time. Or that time. Or that time. Or that time. Maybe we better just stop trying. So, yeah. If an arrow trap misses the player, then you will be able to pick that arrow up. Certain characters have better evasion. Rio in particular has much better stats in terms of avoiding arrows, and there are other characters that are even better at it than her. Urara in particular takes very few arrows to the face. Or the knee. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Never mind, let's go. Alright. If I were in any threat whatsoever or concerned about the outcome of this dungeon, I would use a map scroll at the start. But I know this area, it's not dangerous. And I don't want to stand around grinding these weak enemies. They're worth hardly nothing compared to the sheep. So what I want to do is grab all the items which carry value, haul them out of the dungeon, and then proceed to the next stage. Sort of like an optimized grind I've got going here. Ooh, I hit for 39. Ow. Note that the turtle has a bit of armor going on, so it's capable of... Oh, that didn't go off. Okay. Let's take the side path. Monkey. Once you get close to a monkey, you'll be able to fight it and kill it. What you don't want to do is chase a monkey into an item, because that will get your item destroyed. Okay. Here's a piece of armor. It looks like the second set bra. Do I have any of the second set panties? Normally I'd be very keenly pouring through the items, finding out if I got any good weapons or armors. I'm not really doing that this time. Oh, this is an interesting bra. Let's go ahead and equip this, since it has a slightly better effect than my current one. But it does destroy my set effect. So I'm going to switch back. Until I have a matching panties, there's no point. The extra HP is more valuable. Now notice the message I just got. It's letting me know that I'm starting to get hungry, i.e. my hunger has dropped below 40%. In the next dungeon, I'm going to talk quite a bit about efficient hunger management. Getting a little hungry doesn't have to be the end of the world. In fact, it can be a very convenient thing. Get rid of you. You're trouble. Get. Okay, there we go. No, you don't do it. Get. Amscrace. Alrighty. Now we're on to the final floor of the dungeon. The last floor of the dungeon is a set piece. Let's wrap it up. Final score. After 45 minutes of cutscenes and grinding in the dungeon, we managed to clear most of the goals. We did not hit a G cup because I did not grind on the stages post. It's easy enough to do with Ina, but it's much easier to do with characters later. You just wait and see. We'll get some good stuff going on. Note that I'll switch to the best gear that I managed to claim from my first 2 grinds. Took me quite a while to manage to get this far. It would have taken less time if I hadn't been recording the cutscenes. The most efficient way to gain power is probably to simply do the first stage over and over and over and get the easy items. And the second most is more fun and more interesting and also grants you more powerful items sometimes. That's grinding stage 3. The sheeps sometimes drop very powerful potions of level up. I'll try to get my hands on one of them in the next stage. Okay, if you get knocked out, you lose all your items. The game is over. But if your partner gets knocked out, she'll revive at the next stage with full health. So you don't have to worry about it. Alright, so we've got Rio in the key of G. And we got a map scroll. Good opening. Great. Now we can grind the stage. This is a 7-stage long dungeon, and although there are 2 of you, you will be able to take everything in Rio's bag and claim it. So you really want to get the most you can out of this dungeon while you're here. Or you can sprint it. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and full clear it. Okay. That there's a sheep, but I probably don't have the equipment to do this easily. There's a slowdown spell. Let me think carefully about how to do this. Let me hide in this tunnel. Kill that. Sure enough, it's a sheep. Now we got him. Alright. Switch to the staff and activate it. Not Urara! Oh, I didn't think that would happen. Okay, so now Urara is going to be slowed down. And I've stepped on a sleep trap. Whatever. Forget that thing. We'll kill it later when we've got better items for it. Ugh, bad luck. If you walk onto your partner, you'll move it out of the way. Alright. Is it coming this way? No, it's going the other. Fine, we'll cut it off over there. Note that she can't take much damage, and she's not tough at all. But she is very powerful physically. Her attack strength is extremely high. We need to get out of this room before the enemy shows up here. Hopefully it will come this way. Don't block the road. No! Damn it! Now it's gonna run away again. Alright, let me see if I've got an item that'll make this possible. That's a physical strength increaser. Here we go. This, I think, is a Staff of Confusion. Now, in an open room is exactly where you want to use a Staff of Confusion. If you use it in a tunnel, there's a good chance that the enemy will simply bobble around a bit and run away and waste your staff. That's because there's only two directions to go, forward and away. And then once you're standing behind the enemy directly, there's only one place for them to go, and that's away. So, it's very difficult to get full benefit. On the other hand, in a room full of directions to move, a Staff of Confusion will cause the enemy to wander around helplessly. Okay, now in this particular instance, my partner is next to the enemy, and I am not. If I swing, Urara will turn and attack the enemy. Pretty good. And we've brought it down. Oh, the turn. Note that the exact place where Urara was standing was around the corner, and she can't cut corners either. So she immediately left that position. The AI was stupid enough to put her there, but then smart enough to realize, oh, I can't do anything from this location, and change locations. Okay, we have to get around here, and into a tunnel if possible. Nope, the sheep saw us. We're not leaving yet. We're gonna hunt sheep. I've got a confusion staff that should work just fine for it. I can't retreat or the turtle will actually hit Urara. So I have to stand my ground. Alright, we want to get close to the sheep as far as we can. Now is the time to fire. If I wait one more turn, the sheep will leave the Z-axis, and I won't be able to hit it with the Staff of Confusion. However, if I were to hit it while it was in the tunnel, I would lose many turns of confusion effect. So let's go ahead and fire off the staff. Confuse the sheep. Chase it down. And kill it. Now the sheep is out of confusion, but is cornered thanks to the Staff of Confusion. So we can probably still kill it. Great! Note that you can't hurt your partner. But you can hit them with various items and effects, so indirectly you can hurt them. How many uses of the staff have I got? Just a couple. Okay. We are going to hang out on this stage and do some grinding. Just a step closer. Okay. Again, you wait for the sheep to emerge into the room and then use the staff before it can change sea levels. Remember that as they exit the door, they always have to exit it straight on, so you get one last turn to hit them with magic. Oh. There's an unexpected move it took. Oh, I found an arrow trap. Ooh, close. Urara has great evasion, but she has no toughness. She would have lost over half her health if that shit had hit her. Okay. I have full health. Let's step on an arrow trap. Note that Urara does not set off traps if she steps on them. Getting hit. Getting hit. There we go. Arrows are more effective than rocks. They fly 10 squares, and they do 20 damage instead of 15. which is why it can be beneficial to set these off. Now I have enough arrows to simply kill one of the sheep. And there's no sense in holding on to them. They're no more valuable than rocks are. So, while they can be useful for finishing off distant enemies, the most efficient use for them is, in my opinion, we're got a bad pace. The step is all wrong. There's a turtle there. No. Alright. Let me see what I got. Those are stabs. And I've got my arrows. Easy. Alright. We gained a big surge of power and we're getting close to the H rank. Come here. We'll go over AI and stuff like that, but wait, there's an item that the sheep left behind. Rats, it's just a normal health potion. I was hoping I'd get one of the good ones. Alright. Note that seeing Urara does not upset the animals. Just in time. But my staff is out of magic. Let me show you all something. My staff might be out of juice, but that doesn't mean it's useless. Watch what happens if I throw the staff, which is out of charges, at the enemy. One last kick of power. Very handy trick that. Now let's finish this thing off. Got him. Alright, we got H rank. That's going to raise my stats very slightly. And of course, because my chest rank went up, I healed all the way. And we got an item. It looks like a physical defense weakener. Rats. That's not the good item. More importantly, I'm down to just a staff of slowing, which is substantially less useful than the more effective item. Alright, let's hide around the corner. We need to be very efficient in order to make use of a staff of slowing. But I do need to continue to kill enemies wherever possible. That looks like a sheep. Ooh, an arrow trap. Got one. That'll make my life easier. Out of the road. I can swing for over 20, so I can just two-shot it. Okay. Here we go. First, I'll use the Staff of Slowing. This will weaken the enemy, and now I can finish it off with an arrow. Great. It's just good practice to be able to do this now. At this point, I'm wandering around looking for traps, actually. Another arrow trap would be really useful for me. We're out of time. I need to get off the stage. Let's move to the next floor. This potion, what does it do? It cures poison. An unusual piece of armor. Some kind of a potion. You can't hurt me, I don't care about you. Now there's an arrow trap. I want to have as many charges out of that as I can get. I'm gonna set this arrow trap off a bunch and take some damage. Didn't get any arrows, though. It's worth a try, though. Here's a pterodactyl. These enemies are nuisances. They attack twice for every time you attack once. For me, it's gonna do hardly nothing. But it could be dangerous to Urara, since the birds tend to be very slightly more accurate than average. What kind of a staff is that? Hey, it's another Staff of Confusion, and it's got 4 charges. I can use that. And here's a trap revealer. Let's activate it. Yes, an arrow trap. No. Taking arrows to the face. Alright, I do have to pay a little bit of attention to my health here. Nope, that's no good. The enemy will leave the Z level before I get anywhere. We'll circle around. Come at it from this side. I've got him. Confusion. Tricky. Forward. Rats. It's gonna get away at this rate. This is a potion of confusion. Oh, it stopped the fight. Sometimes they do that. The AI isn't 100% predictable. Alright, let's continue on. Note that despite taking a whole bunch of arrows to the face, I am still doing a fairly decent job of recovering. I'm gonna take a bunch more arrows to the face, too. If the trap will even trigger. Oh, it's a dud. Come on. Alright, I'm pretty hurt, so we'll go ahead and stop doing that. What's in this room? A map scroll. Getting hungry. Alright, there's my full health back. Now, because I haven't actually used a map scroll... Do I have any map scrolls? I just got one. I can't hunt enemies on this stage, but what I can do is hunt arrows. Ow. Come on. It is possible to grind without a map scroll, but it's much less efficient. It means walking around and looking stupid while you do it. So let's give it a try for a little while. I personally find it's useful to move in a figure 8. It makes it more likely that you're going to encounter enemies, and keep moving from one room to another. You might find sleeping monsters in every room you visit. Okay. At least grinding like this tends to be fairly quick, since you're not standing around waiting for monsters, but rather looping around looking for them actively. Sleep trap. I've used up all the arrow traps. And I'm not finding enemies. I know they're out there, but they're wandering around on paths that I can't see. There's one. And it's a sheep and it's cornered. As you can see, Urara is friggin' powerful. Thank you, Urara. That was a lot of benefit for just a little bit of work. It's time to go. So, because we've played it carefully, we've managed to get about 1,000 Omega power on the early stages, take down every single sheep that we've been able to see, and all through very judicious use of items and movement. Pretty good. And we also managed to screw up a couple times, because hey, it's that kind of game. Let me check my equipment sets. These two appear to be a matching set. But they also appear to be beginner gear. Still, they're better than nothing. I'll go ahead and switch this on. Okay. Actually, let me take this off again. And instead equip it on Urara. You can change her gear just as easily as you can change yours. Great. On that note, let's change her weapon as well. Alright, so now she's got a new sword. There's another potion of anti-poison. Get rid of this turtle. That looks like a physical defense strengthener potion. Here is a... Okay, this plant blob thing, it poisons you. Many turns it will not take any action at all, but if it does take an action, it'll try to poison you. I'm just gonna kill it before it can do anything. It's a level 2 monster, so it's worth 200 EXP and 20 Omega power. Ooh, an arrow trap. We'll come back to that. It's not like it's gonna wear out while I'm gone. Here's a bread. There's a scroll book of trap destruction, I think. Kill the turtle. Okay, it appears that I've achieved one of the goals for the stage, which was to kill 30 monsters. It's good. Got a staff of some kind. It looks like a staff of sleep. Kill that. And now we're looping around. I've managed to harvest all the items. If I were in a hurry, I would go ahead and go, but actually I want to stick around and farm this area a bit. This enemy moves at normal speed, but attacks at double speed. So you generally want to catch it on a Sentei. Hit it first. Okay. I am just about to start starving. We'll start talking about hunger management, advanced hunger management, while we're doing this. If I remember right, this particular mission has a requirement to not eat any bread to get a bonus. That's the 5th mission, I think. So we're not going to consume bread in order to recover my hunger. We'll do some other things instead. First off, it's worth noting that you only lose 1 HP per step you take, even if you have many HP, which means your health pool can become a very effective way to stay afloat. Furthermore, drinking a potion grants you... Hang on. Oh, that was awful. I forgot to press square and turn to face the enemy. The shrub decided to do nothing. Leveling up restores your HP to full, which in turn resets your death timer. But now we're ticking again. I'm going to go ahead and tick down to 103, which is here. Drinking a potion will cause you to regenerate 20 HP, even if the potion has bad effects. Let's drink a defense weakener potion, because it's pretty junk. My defense goes down, but my hunger increases by 2%. And as a result, I'm going to regenerate for 21 turns and go right back up to full health before I start starving again. The more stages you want to grind, the more food you will require. Speaking generally, you will need about 1 bread. Wow, I crit that thing for its full HP. You're going to need 1 piece of bread on average for every 3 stages you intend to grind seriously. Every 3 stages or so that you mean to rush through. You're going to need 1 for every 2 stages you intend to grind seriously. Alright, my HP is starting to get significantly low. Now a health potion, if I drink one of those, I'll get 2% back, and I'll also regain 50% of my HP, right? So let's see here. That means I'd regain 62 HP, and then another 21, which means I can let my health dip down 62 minus 21, all the way down to 41 HP, before I finally drink a health potion to reclaim the whole thing. In other words, if I drink at 40 HP, I should regain all the way up to 123 health. Let's try it, shall we? While we look for enemies. And hopefully not find any because they'd interfere with the experiment. Alright, we reclaimed most of our health, and as you can see, I'm going to regenerate another 20, and I would in fact, I'm going to let you do this. Note how much damage she takes, but she dishes it out too, so it's fine. All the way up to 123 before finally starving. And then I fall asleep and lose 5 because, well, crap. Let's go. Lingering is not a good idea if you don't have the food to support it. In this case, I've got enough potions to last me a while, so I probably won't need the bread. Plus, as I move through, I might find things like that. It's a hot springs. And the hot springs will in fact make it possible to regenerate all my hit points, although none of my hunger. I want to hold off on using it for as long as possible, though. Thanks for the bread that I'm not going to use. That's a Reaper, and they hit fairly hard, so I'm going to target it first. That thing hardly does any damage, but as you can see, the Reaper is actually quite a concern since I'm starving. These guys not really going to get anything done. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, do your worst. I'm not worried. Okay. Let's go ahead and drink another potion. Potion of Confusion probably be bad news. I want to hang on to those. Could be useful. I guess we're going to drink a potion of defense strengthener. Not the sort of thing I would even bother with, but it will give me a few turns of positive effects. Let's do another potion. Since this won't regenerate my full health, there's nothing to lose. I'll put myself to sleep for 5 turns. Alright. Oh, a monkey. With low health, that's a very dangerous enemy. I have a high defense right now because I'm an H-class level 9 and I've been grinding. However, thrown objects deal fixed damage, which means monkeys can be very hazardous if you have low health. Try to stay away from them. And of course, don't let them near your items, they'll waste them. There's a monkey coming up over here, so I'm going to change Z levels. And get away from the little crapper. By getting next to a monkey, I can keep it from performing its attack. It'll instead perform a melee. Okay. There's a potion there. What's this one do? This one decreases your magic attack. Perfect. Let's have a drink. A health restoration staff. This thing is tricky because you can use it to restore health, but aiming it is kind of, well, it's best used on a partner, is the way to put it. Okay, I've managed to claim all the items on this stage. I don't really need to grind more. Morning, sunshine. Let's go to the hot springs at this time. Going to the hot springs will restore my health to full. I don't want to skip the cutscene, and it looks like I'm just going to get the basic size. If I could get to I somehow. Do I want to hold off and grind? No. I didn't get very lucky with the sheep. I didn't get any level up potions, so we're going to skip. Well, we won't skip, but we will just do it on regular size. Oh well, I was hoping I could start Rio off with large, but so be it. Alright. I've managed to gain an effect which keeps me from dropping my items. This is a really powerful effect if you use bags. Note that your partner does not regain anything when you go into the hot springs, and you don't get her cutscene either. So if you have an increased chest rank for yourself, well, your partner doesn't benefit from that at all. Reapers. Nuisance enemies. Reapers are able to move through walls, making them one of the more annoying enemy type. We're gonna go ahead and go now. I used the level up to force my health even higher. And we'll move to the next floor. And I've fallen asleep. Another health staff. And it attacked me. Sometimes when a plant monster attacks you, it will poison you. Poison is an old status which harkens all the way back to Rogue. When you're poisoned, your health doesn't tick down faster or anything like that. What happens is your, I wonder if I can use this on myself somehow. Let me think. Put it in a bag, throw it. What if I threw it at the wall and had it hit me? Let's try that. Nope. What if I threw it to a monkey? Or put it on the ground and let a monkey grab it? I don't think that would work like that. I don't think I can get a monkey to do all that. Maybe I can if I try really hard. Alright, let's think hard, people. The monkey is headed for that item there. And that's a staff, and that's going to be trouble when he gets it. But he doesn't line up with me like that. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to take my staff of health gains and throw it over there. No, over there. Oh, no. Okay. Apparently the monkey was standing on something and threw it and hit me with it. Stop that. We're just gonna stand here. Ah! Put Rio to sleep. Of course, Urara lined up. Now we see if it works. Come on, monkey, do it. Yes! I tricked the monkey into healing me. Man, I'm good at this game. I just had to endure losing every single item in this room. Quit it. You're already past your usefulness. Damn, monkey. So we didn't get any items, but we did get a full heal. Because we tricked the monkey into throwing our own staff at us. Note that if you have any fraction of 100, you regain 1 health per step. My partner is healing. I am starving, so I am not healing. Ah, a bottle of water. That'll work. These items aren't worth hardly anything, but they do restore 2% hunger, so it's a good idea to just drink them if you're hungry. As soon as you get them. All right. Is there a room here? No, it's a crossroads. Is there a room up here? There is not. Let's get off this floor. All right. Let me see here. Half of 127 is going to be 42. Okay, that'll do it right there. Drink a health potion. Let's regenerate. This will be the last floor of the dungeon, because floor 7 is a set piece. Ooh, that is a powerful scroll. Let me try to properly translate this. This is a scroll of weapon upgrade. This will add a +1 to a weapon. Now, let me explain something about weapons by opening the character sheet. Here we have my sword. Let's take a closer look at it. This sword is capable of receiving a maximum 25 upgrades, and it has attack power of 3. Later on, when we gain access to item upgrading, we'll be able to synthesize items together, basically combine them in order to power up our items. And there's a limit to how many times you can do it in the shop. I think that limit starts at 10. It can be upgraded. The +1 scrolls ignore that. So early on, before you get too many upgrades, it can be a good idea to upgrade your limit once so that you can go up to 20, upgrade a weapon all the way to 20, and then use a handful of scrolls to upgrade it to 25. Before you embark on that big long journey, you really need a piece of gear that's worth doing that to. So we're starving, and I have been poisoned. Let's explain poison now. Note that my strength is 33 minus 1. This is the effect that poison has on you. It decreases your strength stat by 1 for as long as you have it. However, it stacks, meaning that every time you get poisoned, it gets worse. Getting poisoned early on and often is a real problem. But as long as it only happens once or twice towards the end of your adventure, it doesn't matter at all. You won't even lose any health to it. It's essentially irrelevant at this juncture. Basically, I'm doing 36 damage instead of 37. Oh, and there's I rank. And now, we've managed to gain a chest rank on you. It's too bad there's no hot springs on this floor. Oh no, that monkey is standing on an arrow. Whoa, 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 kill that. This is tricky. Let me explain the logic I'm going through in my head. The Reaper is going to attack Urara. If I attack the bird, though, Urara won't attack the Reaper because I will designate the bird as the target. And Urara will attack the thing that is closest to her. She's currently facing this, but she still won't attack it unless I attack nothing, and then there's a chance that she'll attack the bird instead. To protect Urara from getting one-shot by the Reaper, I need to switch places with her. Now I can kill the Reaper, she'll kill the bird, and we both survive. Delicate operation. Very delicate. Now there's a monkey standing on an arrow. How do I keep getting into these fixes? The correct way to deal with this situation? I could cut the angle by moving very carefully. Let me display the grid. See the squares I can't step on? We'll slip right past the monkey. What kind of an item is that? That is a bottle of poison. Why would anybody want to drink that? Anyways, that is a bottle of poison. Urara is super hurt. If she stays on the square she's on now, the monkey is going to hit her with the arrow. So I need to move her off the square. We're going to walk up a step. Then I'll switch places with her so I can defend her from the Reaper who is wandering around. Let's get out of this room. Oh shit, this is going to get complicated in a hurry. Ooh, Urara is powerful. That monkey is following us. Switch with me. Alright. Let me check my staff. This won't work. That's odd. I don't think these are the same kind of... Yes, they are. This. If I can keep it from stepping on the arrow, then it won't be able to throw it at me. He moved onto the arrow anyways. We've got to get him away from it. The way confusion works is if you choose to move, your movement is randomized. If you don't choose to move, nothing happens. Again, we've got to try and get this monkey. So what we're going to do is hit him with the Staff of Confusion a second time. This time, hopefully as he's moving towards the arrow, he will get confused and go the wrong way. Yep, now we've got him. And I can get to the arrow first. That's much ado for just one stupid arrow. However, the situation was very expertly controlled. Whoa! I'm sure that felt great, but let's limit the harm, shall we? All good things in moderation, ooh la la. Alright, we got a map scroll. We don't want to be in this tunnel. The reason why is the Reaper. We want to be near the wall now until the Reaper comes out. Reapers ignore walls, which means sometimes they do dumb things. I need to watch my HP. There's a plant ball. Kill that, would you? Thank you. Okay. My HP is getting low. Let's find a health potion in my inventory and use it. There we go. Alright. There's a monkey. A monkey. I can use this to my advantage. Do it. Do it. Yes. By throwing out the staff, not only did I benefit from the healing effect, which I didn't really need at that time, but I also kept him from reaching this item, which turns out to just be a piece of junk that I would have drunk anyways. So I didn't benefit all that much, but that was fun. I go ahead and weaken myself for a little bit in order to regenerate 2% of my hunger. I didn't really need to do that, and now I'm poisoned. We're getting close to the end of this as I look around for the last couple rooms. We're all done. Alright, let's get out of here. Dungeon complete. Every item I didn't use gets converted into Omega power. I was a little wasteful. Ooh, move! You're blocking the road, Buster. There's another one. I will not brick you. Move. Okay. Let's get on out of here. I promised to discuss save management with you, so let's go ahead and do that. If I exit to the main menu at this time, which I can do by pushing R2 and changing tabs once to the right. These tabs are settings, which we'll go over in another video. And I select this button. That button abandons the dungeon, but this button is quit to the main menu. Let's do it for a second. The game will save in place. When you resume the game, you'll be right back where you left off. Every game has one save. The only way to produce more of them is to use the clouds. Huh? Oh, right. I was down here. Okay. For just a moment, I thought something was wrong, but everything's normal. Stage clear. I didn't eat any bread, so I get my reward. I didn't find those 2 other pieces of gear, though. I didn't kill 3 enemies at once. Those are the missions for this particular one. They are to clear the stage, kill 30 enemies, don't eat any bread, haul out 2 different pieces of gear, specific ones, and kill 3 enemies at the same time. Welcome to the shop tutorial. I'll explain all the different features available to you, starting from the bottom. The PlayStation Store is essentially defunct if you are playing on an American account because there will be no DLC for you to download. However, if you are on a different region account, i.e. you downloaded this game digitally instead of purchasing a physical copy, you will be able to use the... Oh, gave it a bump. You'll be able to use the PlayStation Store to purchase various little knick-knackery. Not all of it's useful. However, you should be able to at least download 2 free pieces of DLC, the Z Blade and Z Shield. The top feature is the purchase option. These items restock every time you go into the dungeon. Give me a scroll of fire. I'll go ahead and stop talking. Oh, that thump noise is because our bag is full. Right, so we can't purchase items right now because our bag is full. We'll go fix that. I'm like, come on, give it to me. She's like, I can't. She's very patient. I'm going to poke her in the boobs. Take that. Okay, so. items from the top. Basic shield, basic sword. We have a fire spell which travels 4 squares directly in front of you. These are the keys to those killing multiple monsters at the same time missions. Map scrolls. You really can't get enough of these. So make sure you've got plenty. I would buy that, but I have no inventory space. This scroll that costs 250 is an escape scroll. It is one of the most valuable things you can have in your bag, and anytime you're a rookie, you need to be carrying one. Basically, if you get stuck in a situation where you are going to die, starve, or you get cornered, use an escape scroll. Dying in the dungeon doesn't end your playthrough, but it does kick you out with no items and none of the WP that you built up. It's a massive loss, and it's so disheartening to deal with. It can cause people to quit, and I have seen people on the forum saying, "Oh, I'm all done playing." It's because they died once. I understand your frustration, but you really should have had an escape scroll with you. Keep this in your bag, and the turn before you die, when you're completely out of options, use it. If you get screwed by RNG, but you have your escape scroll on you, you can at least take what you gathered up to that point, go back, lick your wounds, study your mistakes, and come back all the stronger. On the other hand, keep in mind that you can lose a lot of time and effort by not having an escape scroll on you. If you have collected up multiple bags worth of gear by grinding Mission 3, if you have very carefully nurtured equipment, there are safeguards in place for your weapons and armor, which I'll explain in a moment. But losing a huge stack of dozens upon dozens of rocks, or very carefully nurtured bags loaded down with level up potions, losing all of that in an instant is really painful. Have an escape scroll. Get out if you have to. Let's change tabs. You can use the left stick and come on over here. The top option upgrades the amount of Omega power you can take into the dungeons, which starts at 0. At a cost of 2,000 points of Omega power, you can upgrade this so that you can take 500 Omega into the dungeon with you. This, of course, costs you 500 Omega, but you get it back as long as you clear the dungeon. This is important on a later stage because you will need to visit a store, okay? This second option opens the hot spring. You just want to buy it as soon as you can. This unlocks more powerful versions of the same thing. You don't need to do this now, but doing it when you can is a good idea. This is the inventory enlargement option. I want 2 ranks of this right away. This is going to spend most of my Omega power, to be honest. But I'm not worried. I'm not going to do galleries or anything like that. I need to get my stuff upgraded. And the first thing you want to upgrade is your inventory bag storage. Otherwise, you won't be able to keep all the good items. Okay, this particular thing with the fairy corgi is the GPS system, which I will explain, but I won't use. Basically, if you die in a dungeon and your GPS-marked items are lost, the corgi will find them for you, and you can get them back at double the price. They will be really expensive, but if you have a really powerful weapon and armor that you can't bear losing, you can recover them, even if you die in the bottom of a dungeon. The feature can be important, so keep it in mind. This is the unlocks page. About goals. If your goal is to beat the game, purchasing these items won't help you in the slightest. None of them will increase your power, not even a little. However, many of us playing, the goal is to have fun like that, really. Poking fun at the girls, checking out the cutscenes. Every last one of these either unlocks a fan service effect, which you can enjoy, or unlocks a cutscene in the menus. So let's go over the options. First one, this is the hot spring scene for Aina. You can tell because of the L. When I went to do the hot springs with Aina, she was already at chest rank F, which was enough to trigger this effect. So instead of the M, I've got the L. Here's Rio's hot spring scene. It's less expensive because her boobs were smaller, although technically they were about bigger than Ina's, but they were smaller for her. This is her identify screen. Note that the hot springs has this shape with 3 lines. The identify screens have 2 lines. You'll also get used to the markings. Hot springs has the tent, and this is the identify one. Well, you get it. Okay, this is the very first cutscene of the game, which is the one of cutting Urara out of the tree, and this one is the second one. Pie stuck in a bind, the one where you're cutting her out of the spider webs. This is a 5,000 point option, which lets you change the home screen character to Ina. This is a 5,000 point option, which lets you change Chi-Chi to the home screen character. You can also change the home screen character to DLC options for free. This is a microphone object and various other objects that are used for identifying. Basically, they go between the boobs when people are identifying objects. They're very different, but whatever. Anyways, then there are, DLC options. I almost forgot. If you have purchased purchased I say loosely, if you have picked up the free DLC Z Sword and Z Shield, you can buy 1 each every time you come through the dungeon. So it's an option to purchase these if you want them. You can sell objects as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Press square to arrange your items, and you can hold down triangle and drag over them just like the other menus to get rid of lots of things you don't need. So let's see here. I've got a whole bunch of staves that aren't really worth very much. Note that this type of staff, Confusion, is more valuable than that type of staff. A charge of Confusion is worth 10 points, and a charge of Sleep, or a Slow, is worth 5 points. Neither is something I really care about. Potions of Cleansing are worth 100 points each. Here we have some Potions of Confusion worth 100 points each. Let's go ahead and sell a bag stuff. Okay. At 500 points is that weapon upgrade scroll. No way I'm selling it though. Bottle of Poison, Bottles of Confusion, Stat Changers. If you can get them out of the dungeon, they're worth quite a bit. So it can be handy to collect them just to have them, because they're worth a considerable amount. Okay. And we got a lot of extra bread. Now, I could sell my weapons and armor. They tend to be the most valuable thing you can carry out of a dungeon. However, it's wiser to just hang on to them for now. So let me organize my items here. I'm going to hang on to all of my weapons and armor for now, because I have a plan for all this stuff. My bag sells for a considerable amount. It increases based on the items in it, the total number of slots of the bag. Okay, I've got some map scrolls. I've got quite a few map scrolls, actually. Here's a trap finder, trap destroyer, and a bunch of staves that I don't really need. So let's get rid of all this stuff. Trim the fat. Okay, what else have we got? We got a big stack of health potions. I'm going to keep those on me. You can never have too many health potions. Okay, well, you can, but never mind that. Okay, here's some more items. We did get one. This bottle of chemical right here. This baby is a potion of level up. Drinking this potion will cause you to instantly gain 1 level. So, I want to hang on to this for sure. These are just bottles of water. I can sell them. This is extra bread. I only really need like 5 pieces of bread on me, so we can sell a bunch of this extra. Okay. So I'm going to sell some bread. Come over here. Sell the rest of my bread off. And now my items are fairly cleaned up. I've got another 5,000 to manage. Let's go on into the shop. I've already unlocked the hot springs, and the next upgrade to inventory for 300 slots is 10,000 Omega. Very expensive. let's discuss the GPS options. GPS is here. Only 4 types of objects can be flagged with the GPS. They are swords, shields, bras, and panties. And that's it. You can't flag bags or usable items or anything like that, however much you might want to be creative and store that whiz-bang item that you found that's so useful. You really can't do it. And it's best not to use GPS on anything right now. In fact, I'm not going to do anything with any of this. This is a button to talk to them. Let's give it a try once, shall we? So her tip was the don't spend your cash. Using items is not necessarily a good thing. Alright, this is the identification panel, which is already open, although you can't use it. There's no items to identify. That'll pretty much do it for this playthrough. The next dungeon that is open is the 9th floor dungeon here. The 7th floor dungeon has already been cleared. You can go back to it if you want to. Grinding stage 3 will help you claim bags, which is something you probably want to do. It's definitely something I want to do. So the next time you see me, I'll have ground this stage about 10 to 20 times, and I'll be sitting on a huge stack of bags, and I'll have used up all of my rocks. Hopefully I will have finished unlocking all the chest ranks. Let me walk through the other options that are available now. In addition to choosing a single girl, you can now choose a partner for her. And if you have the ability to bring Omega Power with you, it will be unlocked on the right. Visiting a hot spring is unlocked in the middle. And that's the basics of that. That's pretty much how it goes. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream here. The next time you see me, we'll review my items and I'll go over what preparations I have done for the next mission. A lot of this game... Quit talking over me, you stupid fairy. A lot of this game is preparing for going into the next difficult dungeon. But it'll be a while before we get into any really troublesome ones. Oh! I meant to show you this. So, you can change the character on the menu. I have a piece of DLC. We're going to switch to that DLC now, and that's the shopkeeper in a bikini. Hooray. If you unlock the bikini versions of any characters like this, you can press L2 to get a closer look. Great. And that'll do it. See you all next time.